Oh, buddy, I missed you. Isn't it great to have the Leafs back? Just right where you left them. Oh, right where I left them. Their last game was a win against Tampa. Yeah, after getting swept in California. Yeah, but isn't it kind of like when you find $5 in a coat you haven't worn in a while? It's not like that at all. Oh. Did you have a kid? I did, yeah. I thought you did. I was wondering what all the crying was, but then I'm like, there's no games. Hi, kids. Victorious puppies. Oh. This team is ruining my life. Why do I watch hockey? Stress relief. We can, and we will. What a way to welcome the victory puppies into the room. Listen, before we get to all the depressing stuff like the Leafs, for example, I just want to say a quick hats off to you. Because you deserve it. You! Yes, specifically you. Because we made it. We did, we made it. The last Leafs game was March 10th, and there was going to be one on March 12th, my birthday, and they canceled that, and now here we are. Hockey has returned in August, and we've made it. Not, you can stop wearing a mask at the store made it. You should probably wear that so that we can go to games at some point in the near future. But you made it. Here we are, and it's great. Well, I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed Philly-Boston. That was a good one. Oh boy, Leafs lose 2-0, 1-0, come on, to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now let's ruin it all by talking about the Leafs. So, the Leafs lose 2-0 to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Really 1-0. There was an empty netter, but like, they lost. They didn't score a goal. So I said something leading into these playoff qualifiers, but a lot of people seem to agree with me that this playoff format, this style, sort of suits them. It sort of is to their advantage. After all, a bunch of players have been skating and playing in this arena. Forget the fact that it's their home arena that they regularly play in. They've been practicing in Toronto for weeks, even months. But because people are here, there, and everywhere, and ice has been scant over the last half year, I'm not sure if you've noticed, and none of these people have played in a National Hockey League game in 5 or 6 months. Because of that, you think players are going to rely on their skill. It's going to be sloppy hockey, kind of like at the beginning of the season when the Leafs tend to score a ton of goals. They get a ton scored against them, but they score a ton of goals and they usually win more than they lose. Columbus, who I think is a great hockey team, but they're a little bit more structured. They're going to have more difficulty establishing that structure, and it's going to be easier for the Leafs to pick them apart. And it would appear that the Columbus Blue Jackets found the Leafs' Achilles heel, placing hockey players in the middle of the hockey rink. I hear you moaning about Jim Houston, but there were moments during this game where he was all of us because he kept making the point of, there's Columbus clogging up the middle again. Yeah, like the whole game. You can't make John Tortorella look like Jack freaking Adams just because he came up with the unbelievable concept of putting players in the middle of the ice. And this is a crazy thing. This is a bizarre thing because the Leafs score so much and have so much scored against them that these videos, besides the fact that they're getting longer and longer and longer as the years go on, I usually spend most of my time talking about goals. But in the lower scoring games, I get to go into the minutia and I talk about the structure of the game and here's what happened in the first 5 minutes and then the second 10 and then the second period and then here's the third and then maybe overtime. This game was absent of things. Because what was there? Really, what was there? Joonas Korpisalo, unbelievable save on Austin Matthews. That was their first and I think only scoring chance. Freddie Anderson, preposterous toe save almost immediately after. It was sort of, you could tell it was a big save, but you couldn't see it. Then they changed the angle. Oh my God. I shouldn't say only scoring chance. Nick Robertson right away, and the Blue Jackets just said, well, none of that. No more fun. And then after that, really what was there? Besides Austin Matthews getting robbed by Korpisalo and Nick Robertson in the first, what was the Leafs' best chance to score? I don't know what your answer is. I'll tell you mine. Kasperi Kapanen not shooting on the breakaway! I gave him too much credit on the podcast that I'm paying for it. I'm like, oh, this guy with Kerfoot on that line and Robertson, all that finishing power, all he's got to do is put the puck on low or just not put the puck on at all. And despite all that, I actually didn't mind the game that the Leafs played through the first and even the second. I mean, after all, this is a series. I don't know if you would call it. It is definitely a playoff series. I don't know about Stanley Cup playoffs. A couple times during the broadcast, I heard NHL playoffs. It's a playoff qualifier. It's a best of 5. 45. And I came out of the first 2 periods, the first 40, going, the Leafs can win this series. And the Leafs come out strong to start the third, and all it takes is a little something. Justin Holl and Jake Muzzin sort of playing hot potato with the puck. It skipped on him a bit. I mean, the ice. How many games were played in the arena that day? It's at the end of it. It couldn't have been good. But Jake Muzzin corrals it. Both him and Holl thinking, we're going for the line change. Muzzin dumps it. Marner with the intentional tip, but he doesn't get it deep enough. And then when the Blue Jackets send it out of the zone and he tries to slam against the boards, the puck goes by him. He knows he goofed right away. Cody Ceci and Morgan Rielly can't get out there fast enough. Cam Atkinson is a speed demon. He's flying. And before Rielly cuts off his angle, snipe. I've said this a few times. Ken Reed from Sportsnet sort of changed my thinking on hockey a little bit this season, or at least in the way that I talk about it, because everything's got to be someone's fault, right? Whose fault was that? Was that Muzzin and Holl on the duffing it, on the dump in? Was it Marner for not getting it deep enough? Was it Morgan Rielly for not cutting off the angle? Or the most popular one, Freddie should have had that. But what Ken says is, why can you never just appreciate the amazing thing the other players did to get the goal? Yeah, it was a little mistake on the Leafs end. Marner didn't get it deep enough, but the Blue Jackets heads up play, they get it all the way out. Cam Atkinson's flying in with speed, no one's gonna catch him, and a laser of a shot. And Atkinson, my God, that guy's a Leafs killer, but that is the sort of thing the Blue Jackets are gonna bite you with. They're gonna wait for their opportunities as they just clog up the middle of the ice all game. This could be a miserable 3 to 5 games. All these months you said you wanted hockey back, you didn't say what kind. And then afterwards, I think this sums it up. From Allison L., who covers the Columbus Blue Jackets, and if you're not following her by now, what are you even doing? She said Toronto did not have a shot on goal in the last 6 minutes and 12 seconds of the game. A couple neat plays at the end there. Freddie with a big save with about 3 minutes left. Marner cutting off a 2-on-1 with an empty net, and that would have iced it. They didn't get a shot! The Blue Jackets get the empty netter. That's game. They take game 1, and the Leafs are only 2 games away from being eliminated from all this lead up, all this anticipation. Man, imagine going to training camp. Imagine leaving your family for training camp. You're done after 3 games? You know, none of these guys want that. None of these guys. So, here's where I'm at. I did a playoff preview show on Sportsnet's YouTube channel with Justin Bourne, who is an NHL analyst, and he played professional hockey and played in college, and holy smokes, he's good at hockey and talking about hockey. What I said was, if the Leafs were to lose to the Columbus Blue Jackets, they gotta seriously look at blowing it up. Now, I use the words blowing it up. I would like to retract that slightly. Not blow it up. Make significant changes, though. Significant changes. In his eyes, obviously, wide as dinner plates. He's like, you're gonna base anything? You're gonna base the future of your franchise on this weird playoff qualifier? And, well, when I thought about it, yeah, that does sound like a dumb thing to do. Way to make me feel dumb. But it wouldn't be blowing up the team just for this playoff thing. No, it wouldn't. It'd be the last 3 years! Let me tell you something. I have a series of videos on this channel that you may or may not have seen called 70 in 7, where I looked at the 70 games the Leafs played this season before the shutdown, broke them into 10-game segments, made 7 videos. I went through every single Leaf game. I have notes, handwritten notes on every single Leaf game. Don't believe me? Wanna bet? Here they are. All of them. All of them. And there were certain things in this game where I'm like, okay, it's their first game back. Like Justin Holl. Justin Holl had a terrible first period. A lot of people were tweeting about it. He was not good. After the Leafs got down, he was one of the Leafs I liked the most. So I have all those notes, and I'm not going to look at Justin Holl's performance in this first period and go, well, you see, he's got to go. But if the Leafs lose to the Blue Jackets, and I see the same things over and over and over again that I saw in this 70-game season, yeah, you got to look at making some changes. They allow 1 goal, and it's in the first 90 seconds of the period. Always! Always! People were mad about Rielly and Ceci being a pairing. Maroon Dermott Barry! Never again, Sheldon! I don't want the Leafs to trade Dermott. I just look at him and I see such a talented player. Oh my God. But how do you plan to play against or with that guy? How do you prepare to play against a guy who doesn't even know what he's gonna do next? Ceci, the penalties. Tavares, Marner, Mikheyev, invisible! But beyond those things that are very specific to this particular hockey game, they get scored on in the first 90 seconds of a period. I said 90 seconds, 70 seconds of a period. They get hemmed in their own zone. When the puck goes into one of their own corners, it's there to stay. They get paralyzed by just placing players in the neutral zone. This happened time and time and time again this season with Babcock or Keefe. And every time they showed a hit, it's the Leafs falling down. Every time there's a puck battle, they're getting hammered. They're falling down. And I saw the stat. Hey, there were only 3 penalties in this game. The Leafs only had 1 power play. And, this Minnesota game is only in the first period. And it already has more penalties in the Leafs game. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Years of this. Every year with the Bruins. If they would just, they're not going to. Help is not on the way. Stick up for yourself. The Leafs got to use their home dressing room for this game because of the playoff bubble. It's a little strange, a little wacky. They have to use the visiting one sometimes. You know how the Leafs dressing room, it says like honor, pride, courage, or like it has some motivational. It should say you're on your own. They kept the Leafs to the perimeter, and then once they tried to go around them and into the corners, they mashed them. Isn't that the game plan? Hasn't that been the game plan? You're not gonna blow it up. You don't want to make any big changes. Same stuff! I've been watching reruns since March! I am not trying to do it again now in August, and I am definitely not trying to do it again in January! Winnable series for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think they can absolutely beat the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets weren't astounding in this game. The Leafs can beat them. I'm just dying for them to do it. I thought the Leafs could beat the Bruins last year. They should have beat the Bruins last year. Do it! Do it! Oh yeah, Steve, just simply do it. No, not simply. It's hard. Cry about it. It's the playoffs. Individually, Tavares, Marner, Mikheyev, that line just has to be better. Way better. Nylander, Hyman, Matthews, I thought that line got better as the night went on, but I thought they got filled in the first period, and Dubois is a problem. Another problem, if the Leafs were a harder forechecking, harder hitting team, you throw the puck into the corner and you hammer Seth Jones, and you hammer David Savard, and you hammer Zach Werenski. That is eventually going to wear them down. Those guys are great on their own, and if you don't wear them down at all, they're just going to stay at their peak, which they were absolutely all game. What adjustments are you going to make there? I didn't even notice the fourth line. Like, is Kyle Clifford going to get in there? The GOAT? What, are you going to beat them in the middle with the GOAT? Or are you better off going at them with speed? You're going to throw Engvall in there? He's got to be hungry. Whatever the answer is, it's in that room. There aren't even fans in the building. You're literally on your own. Questions. Before I get to questions, I did want to address this, and I never really talked about it on the podcast. Austin Matthews says to Steve Simmons when he asks a question that he doesn't appreciate a question from him and found his article about his positive test result unethical. For those of you who don't know, Steve Simmons wrote an article about a month ago saying that Austin Matthews had tested positive for COVID-19, which was later confirmed by Austin Matthews himself. Regardless of whether or not you thought that was like journalistic integrity or ethical, Austin Matthews was absolutely at liberty to tell Steve Simmons to eat a hot dog made of poop. And he did. What I do not understand is any of the criticism I saw for Austin Matthews' handling of that situation. All he basically said was, I'm mad at you and I found that unethical. He didn't even swear at the guy, and then he answered the question. How are you going to criticize that? How? Imagine if you were in his shoes for a minute. First of all, they'd be very expensive, but imagine if you were in his shoes. Would you have handled it that gracefully? I know I wouldn't have. More of a statement than a question. This guy played great. Absolutely. That's Leaf superfan Andrew Nielsen with Freddie Anderson there, and man, you can't waste a performance like that from Freddie. How's Leo? My son Leo is good. He's 6 weeks old now. We just upgraded him to 5-ounce bottles. I'm probably going to give him one in the middle of editing this video, and he likes it very much. He tells us that with burps. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck? Do you miss Nas? Thanks for that, noted Avalanche fan producer Drew. To answer your question, yes, I do miss Nas, but he's already played about as many games for the Leafs in these playoffs as he did last year. I am question number 605. Will you even be able to see this? No! What changes do we realistically need to make for Game 2? Lineup seems solid, and any fourth line changes really didn't affect the outcome of this game. I think the Blue Jackets answered a lot of those questions. Keep it simple, stupid. Especially if you're playing the 8 o'clock game. I think the Leafs' next game is at 4. The ice is going to be garbage. The puck's going to be hopping all over the place. No matter how hard you trained in training camp, you're not going to be totally crisp. Just If you have a breakaway, shoot it, Cappy, for crying out. And the other thing I noticed that didn't bite the Leafs, but it was just waiting there all game. It happened at least half a dozen times. Leafs defenders standing up completely straight and immobile at their own blue line, or even in the neutral zone I saw a couple times. If a Blue Jacket gets by you with possession, it's over. Offensively, they kept passing it around, looking for the perfect shot. The perfect shot is not there. Shoot it. Actually, no, the perfect shot is there. It's the one you have. Take it. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends that there's a brand new Steve Dangle podcast tomorrow, and Game 2 on Tuesday is a new day. It's good to be back.